Jesus accepts his cross. John 19:17. The weight of the cross is now taken upon the shoulders of one who does not deserve it. Carrying his own cross, he went out to the place of the skull. My husband Gene is my best critic. Thank goodness he keeps me in check. He sees things not as an artist, but as a normal person. And that's really important because, an ordinary person doesn't necessarily see what I see. So when he saw me painting this, he got really quite concerned that the cross was so totally out of proportion. I told him that I envisioned the weight of the cross to be so huge that naturally I chose to show that in the size of the cross, and it translated that way. It looks awkward, I know. So in real life, yeah, it is totally out of proportion. I wanted it to look completely overwhelming so that Jesus would look totally insignificant. The way he's carrying the cross is also very awkward and unnatural. I stood in front of the mirror like I often do when I'm trying to get, the shape of a hand or a gesture or whatever. And I tried showing how to hold the cross beam, and the more I did it, the more awkward and bizarre and unnatural it looked. So I knew that that's the way it had to be. It has to look unnatural. When you have to carry something really heavy, and it's so hard to get a grip on it, to get a hold on it, and eventually you just give in and drop it, or you just carry it. That's how I wanted it to appear. Even though technically the beam is probably not that heavy because he didn't really carry his whole cross, he only carried the cross beam, but he was in excruciating pain. He was sleep deprived, and knowing that he would be crucified in a very short time. So a show of surrender was necessary as well. The background of color graduating from light to dark also serves a purpose. It symbolizes the light of his life beginning to fade. And you'll see it in all the paintings. The many accusations that are hurled at him, I did in very fine, thin lines, not the bold colors, because I wanted you to feel that Jesus was so involved in the all-consuming pain of carrying the cross that he couldn't even hear the abusive sounds very much. I know if you've been sick or you've had real pain and anguish, you don't. You're just so consumed by the pain. You're so overwhelmed by it. You hear nothing or see nothing around you, and that's the effect I wanted to create with that. In the small panels, the houses are silhouetted against the bright yellow background. That symbolizes our enlightened worldly stand. The houses are dark and flat and one-dimensional to show our sin and our pride. And as you see, all these arrows are pointing down through those angry words. King of nothing, coward, save yourself, traitor. And there's one in the middle that's going up and down. Well, that one shows that we think, or they thought they were shouting that at Jesus, but actually we're calling ourselves that with the arrows pointing down. We are the cowards. We are the traitors. You can imagine my heaviness of heart when I finished these two paintings.